Brand new article from Pro Football Talk exploring what Mike Florio describes as the simmering tension between Belichick and Kraft. Florio writing, at some point, a sufficient stretch of failure wipes out a history of excellence.
This is the letter reading.
At some point, the past will have faded from the rearview mirror. At some point, Kraft will decide to turn the page. Nick?
Yeah.
Bob Seger.
Good. There we go.
Yes.
Wow.
I remember that.
Is Belichick on the hot seat?
Only because of dopes like you.
What did I do? Just
You have
read an
been-
inspirational quote.
You have been trying to put him on the hot seat
have.
No, I
in
haven't.
service of McCorkle for the better part of a year, and you've really upped the ante this offseason. You've even, you know what?
What?
I'm going to betray you here.
Okay.
You have even said, I've heard you say to Josh in your little pre-show powwows, let me ask you this. If Bill Belichick were able to fire Bill Belichick, do you think he would? Or do you think he wouldn't? Would he go on a year too early or a year too late?
Well, that's true.
And I've walked by and said, that's a good point, Wilds. You're going to say that on TV? And then you get out here, he's smiling and like, no, they're fine. They're going to win the Super Bowl. It's fine.
Judged on my rough draft. Those
And
hanging
so,
in the Museum of Tapes.
Listen, I think this is what I think, Brew. I think his hubris has been a huge liability for them. The hubris in his coaching staff, surrounding it with friends and family, and his hubris in it was like a meme one year when they kept showing all the different draft rooms. And it was like 17 people in this one and 30 people in this one. And it was Belichick's dog, Nike, at Cape Cod. And then this year it was
Nantucket.
just... Sorry, my bad. Nantucket. And then it was Belichick just by himself this year.
Yes.
That's only cute and cool if you're crushing the draft, which they haven't. But he is still one of the 3 best game day coaches in the sport.
Okay.
And the only reason that I am not 100% certain the Patriots are going to stink this year is because it's like, man, Belichick could win them 3 or 4 games they have no business winning.
Yeah, there you go.
And so I don't
win
think he should be
7.
on the hot seat, Wilds, even though you're done with him.
I don't have him on the hot seat, Brew. I have him, like, if you're making s'mores on July 4th, like, ooh, it's getting a little bit warm. Let me back my lawn chair up a bit.
Okay.
That's it.
That's where you're at?
It's a little bit warm. Okay. But I also think I'll let you bash on Belichick, and then I'm going to go on a diatribe about how good the Patriots are going to be.
Okay, I'm not going to bash him. I'm going to tell you what should happen. Because, look, Belichick is not winning another Super Bowl. I'm saying that right now. Rack this, dust
this.
Get this ready.
This is Jim Rome in the 90s?
Get this
Rack
ready.
'em.
All right? He's not going to win another Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right,
Perhaps.
so, but I think Kraft, let him coach this year. Mm-hmm. And I think you want him to break down Schuler's record of he needs 18 more victories. So that could take a few years. But I think after this season, when they win about 7 games,
If you win 7
maybe
games,
8
you can't
games.
win 7 games.
No,
you
maybe
can't win
8
7 games.
So they should fire. Okay,
Go ahead.
hear me
finish.
out.
You finish.
They win their 8 games. All right. After the season, you sit down with Bill and you say, look, he's 71 years old. The oldest coach in the history of the league was 73. Okay. All right. So you sit down with Bill, you start planning an exit. And you say, look, Bill, I want you to break down Schuler's record in our uniform. But then we start looking for a way. We want to go in a different direction. And we would like you to retire. We don't want to fire you.
Oh, my God.
But you have a man-to-man talk. All right. And that's what I think needs to happen. And then you begin working on the exit plan. But you let him break Schuler's record in your uniform. And if he is upset about that,
He's not going to be upset about it.
he would.
If you were giving this gold, exit, this golden parachute.
That's what you want.
Hang out, win 5 or 6 or 7
as long as it doesn't
games.
take 5 years. I mean, you got 3 years
if
to
we
do
win
it.
7, you lost me on if we won 7 games this
How
year.
many you think you're gonna win with the
I
Jets,
think
the
we're winning.
Bills,
Oh
and the
my God,
Dolphins
the
in your
Jets!
conference?
Oh, the Jets! Well, the Jets haven't beaten the Patriots since 1985.
You had Tom Brady, and they didn't have Aaron Rodgers. Can you give us a little context?
Aaron Rodgers? Oh, wow. When's the last? Hey, Dusty.
Here we go.
When's the last time Aaron Rodgers threw for over 300 yards? Oh, 23 games ago? My goodness gracious. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I know that the Chiefs
Yeah. Super Bowl champions.
Super Bowl champions, you want to claim that you're the most disrespected team in the league.
Well,
But you can't claim to be a dynasty and the most disrespected.
Why not?
So we're going to trade. Okay. We were the dynasty. Now you guys are the dynasty. I get it. You were the most disrespected. Now we are the most disrespected. Everyone's like, oh, you're going to win 7 games. Dusty, can you show the Patriots defense, please? Okay. First of all, ever heard of the old axiom, defense wins championship? That's our defense. And guess what? We got better. We'll have a great defense this year that'll win us a few games.
Yes.
Especially
defense wins championships. How many championships did that defense win?
None yet. So
one
good,
playoff.
Good point. We're due. Next up, offense. We finally have an offensive coordinator. I don't know if you've heard, but we used to have a defensive coordinator playing offense. And now we've got Bill O'Brien, who is going to bring in, not by himself, but DeAndre Hopkins is going to show up. Here's the early teamwork from DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, you got to be kidding me on this.
Why?
You have to be
I
kidding
did
me.
radio in Houston.
No,
I was responsible for some of these.
No, I just can't believe this is your evidence.
Why? That's our offensive coordinator and our new wide receiver.
Okay,
What's
go
the
ahead.
issue?
I'll let you keep going. I'll just let you
What's
keep
the issue?
going.
So then the only issue is this. And this is, you know what? Fireworks came early. Not really. It's July 4th. Fireworks practically on time. But Wilds, this is what I'm going to hear. I'm not doing an impression of anyone in particular. But Wilds is not as good as Trevor Lawrence, really?
I wonder who that was.
Mac is 1 game over 500. Trevor Lawrence is 10 games below 500. Who's got a better completion percentage, Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones? Take a wild guess. It's Mac Jones, correct. Oh, but Mac Jones only doing short throws. Is he? It doesn't seem like that. When I ran the numbers, yards per attempt is 7.1 to Trevor's 6.5. And last year, Trevor's yards per attempt were 7. Trevor's played 3 more games and thrown 1 more touchdown. So this narrative, trumpets and ceremonial bravado, are just that.
Well, but then that's
that
where.
Was good.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Wait a second. Wait a second here. Then that is where we must circle back to your actual belief, which is if this Patriots team, with evidently a great quarterback, clearly a great defense,
2 for 2,
soon to be a more than capable offense with a great offensive coordinator. If that team finishes below 500, sounds like you would think they need a new coach.
Oh.
Happy July 4th, everybody.
Say this game.
Just say it with your chest. Bring the tiger out. Let him out.
We're going to be successful. I'm not going to play a game with you charlatans that if we're not
you
successful.
You want him out. Just admit it.
Okay, how about this?
Winning, you got to win. Bill Belichick has taught us that winning matters.
Yeah.
We've got to win.
All right.
You can't miss the playoffs for 5 years. You can't do it.
Okay,
We made the playoffs, but
No, we understand. You haven't won a playoff game in quite some time. Here would be the thing I think we all can agree on. If the Patriots, with that defense, and the defense produces the way it does, and we assume Bill O'Brien is going to know what side of the ball he's supposed to be coaching, which will be an improvement from last year. If that team finishes last in their division, then they must either need a new coach or a new quarterback.
That's right.
Now, I know where I land on that. I think Brew probably lands somewhere alongside me. And hey, maybe if they do try to get a new quarterback, maybe Trevor Lawrence will be available because evidently he stinks.
Oh. No, he doesn't. I'd say he's just not as good as Mac Jones. He stinks.
Same thing.
No, what are you talking about?
No. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.